Florence Villeminot,
Hi,
thank you for joining us once again. We're going to start off in Asia, in Hong Kong. I understand police are breaking down those umbrella movement protester camps.
Absolutely, yeah, it's getting a lot of attention, as you can imagine, in the local press. I pulled out an article from the South China Morning Post, which is reporting on this clearing by the police. So this happened on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thousands of police officers forcefully cleared the camp in Mongkok. So that's one of those pro-democracy protester camps. An estimated 169 people were arrested, including Joshua Wong, one of the student leaders. Now, as you can see here, this article in the South China Morning Post shows that students and pro-democracy demonstrators, well, they remain defiant, and they say that they could target government buildings next.
Okay, well, certainly papers in mainland China will have a different take, I imagine, on that story.
Absolutely. The editorial in China Daily today says, finally, these protest camps are being cleared to the great relief of the majority of Hong Kong citizens. The police took action to clear what China Daily calls these illegal camps. This police action is crucial to getting the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region back on track. The Washington Post is also focusing on events in Hong Kong in its editorial today, and it says that though this crackdown might be successful in the short run, down the line it could yield the exact opposite results that mainland China is hoping for, and that is to say a long-term democracy movement. To quote the article, it says that by moving to stifle the pro-democracy movement without making any concessions, China is basically ensuring that there will be deep embitterment towards Beijing with the future generations in Hong Kong.
Okay, let's move on elsewhere in the world. And the Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan back in the papers for some controversial comments.
That's right. We were already talking about the Turkish president this week because he said that men and women aren't equal. This drew a lot of criticism. Well, what is he saying this time? Well, you can read about it on the front page of Hurriyet Daily News, so a Turkish paper. He says they don't love Muslims, but their money. Now, who is he talking about? He's talking about foreigners, specifically Western foreigners. And he was speaking yesterday in Istanbul. To quote what he said, foreigners love oil, gold, diamonds, and the cheap labor forces of the Islamic world. They like the conflicts, fights, and quarrels of the Middle East. Believe me, they don't like us. They look like friends, but they want us dead. This is already drawing a lot of attention on social media, as you can imagine.
Unsurprisingly, yes. But with Turkey's staying in the spotlight, though, we do, of course, have that three-day visit by Pope Francis, which kicks off today.
That's right. You can also read about that all over the Turkish press, all over the press in general. This is the fourth ever visit of a pope to Turkey. And it's interesting because when Pope Francis was elected, he made it clear that he wanted to reset Catholicism's relations with the Muslim world. His predecessor, Pope Benedict, had sparked some tension when he, linked Islam to violence. So a year and a half later, this visit to Turkey is really testing this new papal position, and so a lot of papers are wondering just what Pope Francis is going to do on this visit, and whether he will be able to spark more dialogue between Christians and Muslims.
Okay, well, let's stay with Pope-related news, always a favourite. He came into the news again for some remarks made about our furry friends.
That's right. He was talking about the end of the world. This was during his general audience in the Vatican on Wednesday. He said, "What lies ahead is a new creation, not the annihilation of the universe and all that surrounds us." So his remarks were interpreted by some people as bringing hopes to the salvation not only of humankind, but of the animal kingdom as well. So there might be some truth to, well, that idea that all dogs go to heaven. It certainly is a very cute papal dog there in The Guardian.
He really is. It certainly gives some hope to pet lovers as well. We'll finish up with some revelations from the Washington Post.
That's right. The Washington Post is reporting about Hillary Clinton. Now, under the Freedom of Information Act, they got their hands on an email exchange between Hillary Clinton's team and the University of California, Los Angeles, regarding a speech appearance. And as you can see here, it says that it gives a rare glimpse into Hillary Clinton's paid speaking career, and it is quite surprising. The Independent sums it up quite well. Not only will it cost you at least $300,000, you'll also have to provide some interesting things she demands, such as lemon wedges, water on stage, a spread of hummus and crudité in the green room, and a certain colored seat that she will sit on with certain cushions for back support. The Independent points out that her staff has declined to comment on this, but it could complicate any attempt to run on a populist program when, well, perhaps she attempts to run for president.
Goodness, a controversial coloured cushion could be scuppering her presidential ambitions. Thank you very much, Florence Villeminot, with the press review.